Hello, thank you for joining us this evening. This is Kevin Barger. I'm the Director of Music Ministry at Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. This is our Music Minute where we take a look at the hymns for tomorrow. We are still in the season of Christmas. This will be the second Sunday of Christmas tomorrow on New Year's Day. And we're going to do things a little bit out of order. So we are still singing some Christmas tunes tomorrow. And we're going to start with In a Deep, Unbounded Darkness. And you're thinking, wow, that sounds just like the Christmas tunes and carols that I love to sing. But it is to a tune that you'll recognize, Of the Father's Love Begotten. And the text actually originated as the theme song for a Bible study institute in China. And it's a meditation on the eternal nature of God. The tune comes from the same tune as Of the Father's Love Begotten, as I mentioned. And like the text of the Father's Love Begotten, it follows sort of the same pattern. Stanza 1, we begin in time before creation when God claimed us. And then stanza 2 is praising God's steadfastness. Stanza 3 is our joy overflowing at the incarnation. And stanza 4 returns us to the realm of eternity, joining together the beginning and final chapters of the Bible by connecting references to the Genesis stories of creation to the wedding feast of the Lamb in Revelation. So it's a powerful, very powerful text, and I think you'll recognize it. This is In a Deep, Unbounded Darkness. So hopefully you found the Divinum Mysterium tune in there. So we are going to then move to the First Noel, which is our sending hymn tomorrow. And not much is known about this hymn. It was actually first published without music, so we just had a bunch of text. And Noel, in this case, refers to cheer, or the English form, more prominently with Nowell, actually represents a kind of birthday cheer. So about 10 years after the original tune, the actual text was premiered, there was a tune that appeared, and then much later after that, John Stainer, and for those musically inclined or have sung in church choirs, you've probably sung For God So Loved the World, which John Stainer would have written. He did a harmonization, and that's the one that we most popularly use today in the First Noel. So we're going to go to a Carillon Sortie theme, which you'll find over on the organ. So I'm going to move over there now, and this will be the First Noel. And now we are going to go off to the gathering hymn for tomorrow, and that's O Come All Ye Faithful. This is usually heard as the open processional for Christmas, and Epiphany was no exception to that. We did this as our opening hymn, gathering hymn on Christmas Eve. It was originally written in Latin, and the text actually was written by an English Roman Catholic layperson who lived most of his life in a France monastery. And this tune marks somewhat of a transition between Gregorian chant and the more evangelical hymn style that we hear and we're accustomed to from the 18th century. This actual version, this actual piece, was used for several of the services as the prelude during Christmas Eve. So you might have heard it, you might recognize it. It's a great fugue, and this fugue, every time you think you hear what it's going to do and you know what it's going to do, it throws a little twist at you, and you just don't know exactly where it's going to go. So it's a really fun piece, and I hope you enjoy it. O Come All Ye Faithful. Keeps you in the Christmas spirit. And that rounds out our Christmas season of hymns and so forth as we finish up with the second Sunday of Christmas tomorrow. Thanks for joining us this evening. If you're coming to worship in person tomorrow, that's at 8:30 and 11, and online will be available via the YouTube channel at 11 o'clock. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.